magic can get to. And so the magic's...
Can't feed from it?
Yeah, the way the magic perceives what Richard is afraid of changes because that is now separated from the rest of his mind. It's not a part of what he's afraid of.
He's like, that's so far out on left field. I can't, that's not.
Yeah.
No. And like you were saying, kind of like Pennywise, to where at some point, or like a boggart, like you can confuse it kind of and make it like, okay, all right, let me switch it up. All right.
Exactly.
I hear you.
Change what it is you feel like you're afraid of, and it can't fuck with you in the same way.
Okay.
By the way, laughing at it in both cases of the boggart and Pennywise works.
Yeah, apparently.
So,
according to the new version.
Which could actually really benefit Richard because he is half insane anyways through his whole Mord Sith ordeal. So maybe if he just leaned in and enjoyed the hell out of everything happening, it would just stop.
Yeah.
He'd be like, this is fucking awesome. Lightning, fire in the sky, magic flying around everywhere. Fuck yeah, I'm in.
If he all of a sudden got super horny, seeing the Mord Sith instead of scared, and he'd be like,
just saying.
Let's go.
Not even the Mord Sith. There's Kaylin in the Mord Sith outfit.
Yeah. He's like,
I'm just saying. Oh, this place is suddenly not so bad. And actually, he does consider that for a second. He's like, would it be so bad if everything was just fucking awesome in here and I just slipped into madness?
And
he has a point.
Yeah, realistically, even though you are going to be the savior of everybody, does it really matter if you don't remember?
Right. Like the fucking Matrix. The guy goes, just put me back. I don't want to remember any of this. Ignorance is bliss. So he thinks in reality, Kaylin doesn't love him anyways. So if this Kaylin might love him,
fuck it.
Shut up and take my money. Give me my ticket. I'm in. I want on this ride.
So after changing, it tells Richard, because we're going to call it it
it's
now.
It now.
That she is there to kill him, and he should die with honor and fight her. And he's like, nah, man, I'm not going to do that, even if you're a vision. Kind of like the underworld people when they were coming after him. He was willing to kill his dad in there, but he's not willing to kill Kaylin here, even though he knows it's not real.
Yeah, it's weird that it has changed, but again, that was his dad, and now, of course, he didn't know that his dad wasn't his dad at the time that he did that to his dad. The ghost dad.
And his dad was dead.
And his dad was dead, so he knew for sure it wasn't. But I think this might be like Chase in the way that it's so vivid and so right there that he just doesn't want to.
Yeah.
Because it would be tantamount to doing the thing in real life or to the real Kaylin.
Yeah. My brain is already this close to breaking. Let's not fuck with it, okay? So in response to Richard saying he wasn't going to fight her, instead of her trying to force him to, she's just like, oh, that sucks, because it would have been better to die than to watch this terrible prophecy I'm going to show you right now.
Yeah.
Prophecy she ends up showing him is the one that we heard earlier from Nathan to Marge, except we're seeing it a little bit more vividly, and we know for sure it is the Mother Confessor losing her goddamn head.
Yeah, earlier in the book, we heard this described as maybe a wedding, maybe something festive. The people were all happy, and it sounded really nice.
Nathan laughed at it.
Yeah, he laughed at it, and this is why he laughed at it, because it's not that. It's an awful, awful thing, and he saw it for what it was supposed to be.
Yes.
Also, this kind of means that Nathan is probably not as crazy as we thought initially. In the chapter that we are seeing Nathan and Marge interact, he is a little bit crazy. He kind of chuckles when there's nothing funny, and he alludes to things, and he's hard to pin down.
Yeah.
He is just reacting to the situation. He just knows a lot. He's super smart. And because people don't know that,
yeah,
they think he's just crazy, but he's a smooth operator. He's fun. Also, he's a Nathan, so that's, understandable. And during this, Jim Bond gives the best performance so far of this audiobook. Jade actually texted me the day that we were listening to the chapter, and she was like, he finally fucking went there.
Yeah, he finally got into the book enough to actually let go and yell. Even if it was a fake yell, it was there.
Yeah, I did it again. We're like, he finally went there. It's like, Oh no! Don't fall.
All it represented for me, though, is he has potential. I want to see where we're at the end of the book. Is he going to be, like, full out running in his little recording studio, or
I
what?
want one full-on yell.
Yeah.
Just one, and I will be satisfied.
We're going to keep you guys updated on Jim Bond's performance throughout the rest of the book.
All right, well, I need a refill, so I think we're going to take a little break, and we'll be back right after this. And we are back. So, as Richard is absorbing Kaylin losing her head, literally, and, like, you got to be dealing with emotional trauma from that, Verna comes in from another one of the openings, and she freaks out on him for leaving her side and talking back to her, because Verna.
Which is a little bit funny, though, because she had, like, literally already been like, hey, if we get separated, just, like, do your own thing.
Go on without me? Yeah. And now she comes back and she's like, you actually went on without me?
Yeah.
What's the matter with you, dude? I was back there. But she won't listen to reason. Richard didn't know what to do. He found the tower. He went to the tower. He got where it was safe. Like, he did all instinctual things, and she's not having it. So she starts to use the collar on him, which, again, in the midst of all this magic sensing what you fear, this is something he feared. So, of course, this would happen here.
And also just, I mean, her attitude is weird when she comes back.
That's why I think they've been showing her talk to the horses a little bit. So you know that actually she is a caring person. She actually does love a person. This was earlier in the chapter, but Richard weirdly was like, oh yeah, who was she? And Verna goes, he was Jed. Like, did he assume she was lesbian for some reason? I don't know why that just now popped in my head, but
I think it was just assumed it was another one of the sisters, because she had mentioned sisters being in there before.
Okay.
And or, like, sisters are, like, celibate and all that shit, you know?
But yeah, if they're nuns, I don't know about Sisters of the Light.
It's, like, implied, I feel like.
Like a parallel to nuns. Maybe that makes sense, but still, he assumed it was a woman, and she's like, nah. But all this to show that Verna is not actually a terrible person. And she does actually care about, like, animals and stuff, so how inhuman could she possibly be? Now she's using the collar to give Richard pain, and this is like everything he was afraid of.
Yep, he's like, yep, see, told you so, knew it. But, surprise, he's not a fan of this development in their relationship, and eventually he gathers his strength and his anger, and he is able to bisect her body.
So even though she's using the collar to control him, much like, you know, Denna would have done with the magic, he's able to fight through that and kill her. He doesn't even notice really the pain from the killing because he's so pissed about her hurting him. After he kills her, he notices a little book. The little book she always carries around. She's always writing in it. He decides to check it out because why not? I guess we have the time to do this. And it's completely empty except for two messages all the way in the back of the book. One is from Verna saying the directives given are not right and asking for the reasoning. Don't know what those are exactly, but Verna is challenging what the palace is telling her to do with Richard. And the response is from the prelate telling her to do what she's told, don't ask fucking questions.
Right, and this kind of lends to the fact that it's not a vision, because that's a weird thing to pop out of a vision's pocket.
Well, that's something that Richard wouldn't have known about in the first place.
Right.
So how could it be there?
Yeah.
But this also made me think of Verna and Jed. Like, why not just write him? Does he not have a book? If the book is specific, then get another book. Like, that should be a thing.
Yeah, I mean, everyone should have one, like a cell phone. I'm guessing that the one she has is tied to a specific one at the palace, because this is how they're, like, communicating with the palace. I'm guessing the three sisters probably had one between them in order to be like, yo, do you know if we have to go more east?
Yeah, well, we do know that about the books. One book is linked directly to one other book. You can't, like, write somebody's book number on the top of the page, and then whatever you write goes to that person over there. Although that would be fucking awesome. 2 books are like twins. What's written in one shows up in the other.
Yeah, we knew kind of about this before because that's how the Sisters of the Dark were keeping tabs on what was going on with the sisters and Richard. After he sees this and is, like, confused, Kaylin pops back up again, and she's like, hey, see? You know, you should have... This is why I sent you away, because you're a monster. You cut people in half.
Dead. What the fuck?
I'm fake. I can do whatever the fuck I want.
I mean, I know, but still. If he was like, no, I can't kill you. Well, you just watched her die, and now she's back alive again. So if you killed the fake Verna, like, do it, man. It sucks because he doesn't do it, he won't do it, and then it gets even worse. Kaylin turns into Dark and Raw, which is, I'm sure, a visual that he is never, ever going to be able to get out of his head. Like the next time him and Kaylin are together and they're like, you know, things are getting hot and heavy, it's a little bit dark, and he looks down at her face and all of a sudden, whoo, changes into Dark and Raw.
Yeah, it's not exactly good for that.
No.
But Darken then tells Richard he's going to make him proud, and the Keeper is going to be, like, super great with him. It's going to be awesome. Richard gets pissy and goes after him with the sword, and he ends up, like, flying out of the tower. Like, he runs right through him. And then he's targeted immediately by 3 lightning strikes.
Because you can't stab a ghost. He swung at fake Verna. We're assuming fake Verna. And he killed her. He didn't choose to swing at fake Kaylin. So when he pops up and like charges Dark and Raw and then goes right through him, does that mean this is not a vision? It's just ghost Dark and Raw? Because that's the way I take it.
Maybe he's more afraid of Verna being dead than he is afraid of missing Dark and Raw, because Dark and Raw's already dead.
Or maybe he's just afraid of missing an opportunity to kill Dark and Raw. We know he says if he had the chance, he would raise him from the dead just so he could kill him again.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, in effect, kind of has happened a little bit. But yeah, I'll bet that's what it is. He's just afraid of letting him go.
Then Richard uses a sword to deflect the 3 lightning strikes, and he decides he's going to get the fuck out of there and away from everything that happened in the tower as soon as possible.
It doesn't say where he decides to go, though. He's just like, ooh, nope, don't like this. Don't have Verna, just going to run away.
Yeah, no, the chapter abruptly ends, so we have no idea which direction he even goes, or he's just like, okay, here we go.
And that's the last thing he said. He said he was going to go back to the Midlands, because fuck all this.
I mean, Verna tried to convince him not to do that, because he needed a sister, so we'll have to see which he decides.
Yes, we will. Well, that does it for us and this chapter. If you guys enjoyed this episode, you can totally let us know by writing an email to podcastatt@gmail.com. You can send us a voicemail or write us a text at 616-259-0025. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and if you wanted to be extra cool, you can check us out on Patreon at podcastatt. Got a lot of cool stuff on there for you guys. Thank you so much for listening, and we will see you real soon.
Bye!